UK. Okay. Oh, that's true. Yeah, somebody told me that.
Is it not available?
It's not available on Mac here.
Because it is at home, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Doctor in a new dimension. This place is crawling with cyber slaves. You take control in Doctor Who: Blood of the Cybermen. Download the second game now at bbc.co.uk/Doctor Who.
Short but to the point.
Was that it?
That was it, I'm afraid, yeah.
Oh. Right. Okay, so, Phil.
Yes,
Explain to everyone, for the benefit of everyone here, what are the adventure games? What makes them different from a normal game or an animated episode? What is the strange middle ground they sit in?
Well, they are computer games, the kind of thing that you would get on a disc. But the unique thing about it was that they were free back home in the UK to download, and they are adventures. They were episodes of. They were written as episodes of the last series. They were written in a way that they would stand alongside. Those stories could stand alongside any story in Matt's first series of Doctor Who. But they provided the opportunity for you, the viewer, to actually be the Doctor and to play games and therefore take the stories in a different direction. How's that?
Sorry, can we actually kill the lights, those, and have the normal house lights up?
Yep.
Please, thank you, thanks, Suze. It's just that's really...
I'm in danger of getting a tan.
And also I'm about to ask for a show of hands, and I'd like to therefore be able to see a show of hands rather than just guess. Yeah, there's people that are actually people. That's better. Right. So, question is, how many of you have A, been aware of these adventure games, and B, had a chance to actually play them? That's not bad at all. Right. Okay. Let me do this again. How many of you are aware of them? How many of you have been able to play them? How many of you who have been aware of them but haven't been able to play them want to play them? Okay. I don't know what the point of that last one was, but I thought that was quite fun just to make you do this a few times. So, yes, it's a bit disappointing that as yet they haven't been able to get out here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the Mac question that seems to be the one that's...
I'm astonished by that, because we had this problem when we launched them in the UK, that they only launched for the PC for about the first 3 weeks, and then the Mac patch, is that the technical term, came in and suddenly the Macs could play them. I'm amazed that they can't play them on Mac over here. That's
because you're missing some good episodes. We've got Daleks, Cybermen, Ashton Arada,
And a blob.
so
put a blob inside the TARDIS.
When they were first mooted, when they were first being talked about, Piers and Beth, who are the executive producers of Doctor Who, were very keen that these would be treated as almost like making the season 17 episodes long rather than the 13 episodes that the series actually was. They were treating them that seriously and treating them as canonical and treating them as proper Doctor Who. So that was the basis that we started these things on, and we got Phil in initially to write them. And it was a long, hard process. It wasn't an easy one, was it?
Well, it was a meeting of cultures, wasn't it? Because as for the games people, it was kind of slightly odd because they would be used to doing a game with a character who may well solve problems with his fists with a gun, and obviously the Doctor don't do that. So that was one problem that they had, and they had a learning curve with that kind of thing. From our point of view, obviously we write TV scripts, but it was a whole new language and a whole new thing to actually write a game. I mean, the simplest difference, I suppose, is that when you write a Doctor Who episode, you've got 45 minutes to tell the story, to develop the characters, make them interesting, do all the colour, all of that. In a game, you have a maximum of 20 minutes in the film, right? So, which equates to 20 pages. And when you're trying to make a story which could stand alongside all the other episodes in the TV series, that's a big ask to do. And that means not just simply telling a story, but developing characters. So, yeah, it was a lot of good fun. And also, one of the other simple things, when we're doing TV, you can have jump cuts, but that doesn't happen in a game. In a game, you're in there, and you're in there till it finishes.
It's completely linear, isn't it?
Yes.
It makes it a very different thing. So, how did you first get involved in it? What was the way you were brought into it?
I think you asked me. I'd just done, relatively recently, before, Dreamland. So I'd got some experience of doing animation. A long time before that, I'd done the CGI remake of Jerry Anderton's Captain Scarlet, if you're familiar with that. So I got some. Oh, thank you. I got some background in animation. So I guess that was one of the reason that they asked me. Plus the fact that I'd also done Doctor Who and I was familiar with it. And in the first instance I came in, it was a question of finding some storylines. But Gary, there were already 2 or 3 storylines I think that had been developed.
Yeah, we sort of started off knowing we wanted to do a Dalek story and a Cyberman story. That was there from the outset. And Stephen Moffat had said he wanted the Cyberman story to be set in the ice. He thought ice was a good idea, something in the Antarctic, because it was somewhere that we couldn't film. In Cardiff. Again, as with the animation, the beauty of these things was to go to different environments to which we wouldn't be able to go to in the TV show. So, and the Dalek one that started it actually came from the pitch that Sumo, who are the company that made the game, actually brought to the BBC, and they showed us, they did a very detailed, they spent a lot of time and effort on it, which was rather brilliant of them, and they created this sort of mini adventure of the Doctor and the Daleks in a ruined London in the future, with Daleks invading tube tunnels and Nelson's column falling onto Trafalgar Square and everything like that. And so we kind of thought, well, actually, that's quite a good idea for a story. Let's start with that. And then it was you that said, let's then take it to Skaro, because again, Skaro was something that we'd never seen on the TV. So we were able to create Kalan, the Dalek city, and have some fun with that.
Yeah.
And then the next thing we wanted to do was a story set entirely within the TARDIS, because that again was something we'd never done on TV, and it was a chance to take the architecture, if you like, of the new TARDIS that they'd designed and say, let's see what would happen outside the confines of the control room, which is where, James, you came in.
Yes, they asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said yes, because it's Doctor Who, so I pretty much do anything for that. And again, it was kind of like, right, it's going to be set in the TARDIS, we're already designing the console room, there's going to be another room called the drawing room, or with that, I don't think they decided what it was going to be called. So you could have had the things in place beforehand. It was like, right, we need to kind of come up with a story and reuse certain assets. And I've just remembered, originally I came up with a different storyline around it, where they would go back to the previous adventure game episodes so we could reuse the environment. And I came up with this really complex time travel thing that was a little bit similar to the crack thing. It was nothing like it, but it was vaguely similar. So yeah, it was kind of weird. They have the environments and the characters and some of the gameplay elements, and you kind of have to work around that. And it's kind of a backwards way of doing it, but then you get that in TV as well.
Yeah, it's never easy.